Welcome back to the channel and a new video. As you can see, that plane has finally arrived on that return trip. I know that made quite a lot of you laugh in the last video. So welcome back to the channel and a new video on the BMW X1. We are going to pick up where we left off, but a huge thank you to Airbag Service Limited. Guys, that is our original dashboard out of this car. Our original. They have repaired it. This car is so new, you cannot get the parts from unless you buy from the dealer. So that has actually been repaired on its original joint and had the airbag done and a whole new piece of leather and all of the correct stitching put back in that dashboard. It looks brand new and it looks completely original. Also, we've got our new driver's airbag. We didn't even need to remove the steering wheel in this car when we was removing that. So that can go straight back in. And of course, that looks like brand new as well. We got our curtain airbags there and we've got four of our four original seat belts that have all been reset and they're ready to put back in. Of course, as well, we have got a nice little discount code for them. So if you need any airbags done, any seat belts, any modules, anything like that, they will help you out. They will hook you up. And of course, you can use that discount code. We are just waiting for Liam to arrive and cut out this windscreen. We cannot fit the roof line in until the roof has been painted. But that is not going to stop me cracking on and getting a few little bits done in here while we are waiting for Liam. So no waffle today. We need to turn this one around. Let's get on with it. If you blink here, you're going to miss it. As you can see, no dashboard. And then bang, straight in with a dashboard. It really was a lovely job to do. And far from easy, but definitely the easiest one I've ever done. So if you do need to do a dashboard, I'd suggest starting on one of these. It was a lovely job to do. Not one screw left over there. Like I said in the previous video, they are all exactly the same, identical screws. So I'll put them in, all back in, and that's the dashboard, all back in there. This does want banging down a little bit harder, but I don't want to hit it too hard and end up breaking it. I'll wait till Liam comes and gets that screen out. But the steering wheel airbag, you can see I've just plugged it back in, and it is a case of, and that is it. That is all of the steering wheel and dashboard all back together. And it's a shame I can't put that roof lining in, but I don't think that's going to stop me like building up things like this, putting the seat belts back in. Yeah, I know I can't put all these B post covers back in and C post covers, but I reckon I can get like these pods all put back in the back, like get the seat belts fitted and get all these put back in. There's no reason why not, is there? And then of course we'll just worry about the roof lining after. I can even get those curtain airbags in, I suppose. I am just going to continue on and try and get through a lot of those bits. But look how lovely that is. I still can't believe that is our original dash. Huge thank you to those guys for fixing it. I mean, it is unbelievable and the turnaround was good. Let's carry on. Moving on to those curtain airbags, again, they just clip in and then you've got a bolt each end and a little star drive actually in the middle that holds the pyro part of it that blows. Once they're in, straight onto the seatbelt, passenger one's in, driver's side's in, again, 2 star drives at the bottom and 2 star drives at the top, and then you've got your little plugs to plug them in, and I think that's both of them done. And that is all the seatbelts and the curtain airbags back in. But unfortunately, I can't put these on just yet. And that is only down to the fact that we've got to put the roof lining in and then we'll put on these upper section posts. And of course, these seat belts have got to go through them. I should have probably explained it by showing you one, shouldn't I? So there they are there. They push up into the roof lining and the seat belt comes through there. And then they clip in at the bottom. So we're going to have to leave that where it is for now with the seat belts. But this car will not drive without the driver's side front door on it, of course, because it is a BMW. They will not move. It will just keep jamming the handbrake on. So I am going to attempt, I'm not sure what one I've got here in the booth. Right, there's the new rear door and there's the old rear door. So I guess I'll start and I am going to swap everything over on that one. and the original one's there. Maybe if we don't get time, we can just straighten up that edge so that we can hang that door on there so that we can move this car outside. That's what I was talking about, where this car had been on its side, how hard it had pushed that mirror over and bent all this framework. And I think we're going to need some of this chrome trim, so there's a good chance there's a few more bits I'm going to need to buy yet. I'm hoping, yeah, that is the new locking wheel nut that we bought the other day. Right, let's carry on. So I've sped this time lapse up as fast as I possibly can, but this did take a long time. I've got the new door on the stand there and the old door, and there is so much to these doors. They're made up of so many parts. Luckily, I've got them side by side, and as I'm taking bits off of one, I'm putting it onto the other and slowly building it up. But I think we're pretty much there with it now, and we can get it fitted to the car. That was very, very time consuming. Very time consuming. I sped that time lapse up as fast as it will possibly go. This has taken best part of 2 hours to strip everything out that door to put onto this door. It literally is a nightmare job to do. And of course it's got those new handles as well. So they're a little bit different to get off. You've got, well, once you know how to get them off, they're easy. There's a little pin in there. You just push it with the pin there, and this handle pops out. And that handle looks like it will clean up all right as well, so it shouldn't need painting, because of course this door is done inside and out. Anyway, that's all the door done. I'm going to leave it there because Liam is just rung me and he's on his way here to fit a windscreen, so let's get that done. So this is quite self-explanatory. I don't even need to tell you what's going on here. Liam is in there cutting out that old windscreen, and he's going to move on and get the new one installed. Do you know, I got so involved there, I genuinely lost track of time, where it's so lovely and bright out there. It's actually 7 PM. I haven't worked this late for a long time. Such an achievement today, such an achievement. That is all the curtain airbags back in, all the seat belts back in, dashboard, steering wheel, all back in. New windscreen, all fitted. Liam's just been, you've seen he's done that. And the new rear door is all fitted up and fitted. I'm not going to mess around with this till tomorrow, but you can see the rubber's kinked there, or I've pushed the window up. I'll put the window down tomorrow, put it back up, that'd be fine. But I also need to put the door panel on. I didn't want to put the door panel on until we'd checked that everything was working. So the door latch, the lock, the window, etc. But I've bolted the check strap on, bolted the door on, and absolutely beautiful. Really, really happy with today. I'm going to go home with a smile on my face. I'll be back in the morning. So it's been sat around a while and we've never ever cleaned this one. It is off to the paint shop, so it is nice to give it a good clean before it goes, blow off any excess dust or debris. And of course I wanted to give these wheels a clean up. One of them is actually been refurbished, 3 of them are really dirty, and Chris is convinced that they're a different colour, but I'm convinced it is just the brake dust. So into the workshop, up in the air, and that front passenger wheel off. There's a few little jobs to do under here, a few things to check over. I think we got to change the bottom pinch bolt, a wear sensor, and some other various little bits and pieces to do under here. And then that corner will be all done. That's the one that had the wheel knocked off. So a few days later now, and I for one am so chuffed with this car. Massive satisfaction, sense of satisfaction. And I know Chris has as well, because this car was trashed when we got it. I mean, we really did take a chance on this. No keys, in Copart, everything was all bagged up, wasn't it? Windscreen, driver's side window, and it looked badly damaged. But no front end damage on this, apart from the scuffs on the bumper and that little tiny bit on the edge of the bonnet. But we still think that was done by the transporter. What else could have caused that? Because of, obviously, the roof damage was horrendous, wasn't it? Where it had been lowered down. But I think you would agree. Let me just grab the key on this car, because I don't know it. I'm just trying to be very careful. I do know one thing. Watch this as we walk away from it. That's what it does because the key's in my pocket, and it's obviously warning you that the car is still running. But there's those new doors all fitted, front wing all fitted, quarter panel all repaired. This car is ready to go to the paint shop. I did just give it a quick wash there because it was covered in dirt, and when you take it to the paint shop you don't want any of that dirt contaminating the rest of it, because they've got to paint the whole side of this car. Obviously all the A-pillar all the way down the whole side, the bonnet, edge of the front bumper they'll get away with. The whole back bumper, unfortunately, is going to have to be done. And then down this side, I don't know what they're going to do because we haven't had to do any repairs. But there is a scuff there and also a couple of little marks up here. But I know they're professionals and they're going to get someone on that with a mop to try and save us the money of having this side of the car painted. I did just wash it down, like I say, and it come up all right. And more than anything, I mean, tell me what it looks like here on camera to you guys. Chris said when I got that wheel done, oh Rob, I think you've had it done the wrong colour. And it wasn't. It was because they were so dirty. I guess until I put one of those caps on it, you're not really going to tell, but they're definitely the same colour. Right, let's get it over to the paint shop and pick up as soon as it comes back. It's all done. Dropped off to Smart Services. Let's leave it here and pick it up and see what it looks like. So fresh back from paint, and it is so nice to see this one all in colour. You can see the quarter panels all painted, the roof's done, and they've actually painted right down the side of this car, the whole side of it, even though those doors were in colour. I've got to quickly pop out. Chris is going to make a start on the mechanical side of this, so there's a little bit left to do on the front near side suspension. He's going to crack on with that, get that roof bar fitted, and we are going to get this one hopefully wrapped up. No waffle, let's get to it. So into the workshop, up in the air, and that front passenger wheel off. There's a few little jobs to do under here, a few things to check over. I think we got to change the bottom pinch bolt, a wear sensor, and some other various little bits and pieces to do under here. And then that corner will be all done. That's the one that had the wheel knocked off. So everything on that near side front is all back together. Chris has just popped in that brake pad wear sensor, and you can see he's concentrating on getting the bumper bolted back on and then the wheel arch liner back in. But probably going to be, or has he done it already, one of the most awkward things, and that is the washer bottle, because it goes in at a certain angle and you've got to get it just about right, and it's very, very tight with the wing on there. And then of course the bumper this side. We are cracking on with it. The wing mirror cap, they'd already put that back on there, that's all done. And the door panels I've built back up, and they're all back on there now as well. And the windows, of course, are all back working as they should do. So moving on to the tricky bit, now I've got that final seatbelt in there, is getting that roof lining all put back in there. So let's concentrate on getting that done and actually get the inside of this car wrapped up like in the next hour. I want this car all back together because it's been apart for so long. Let's crack on with it and stop talking about it. So in with a roof lining, very difficult. You can see I had to pull it back out there, and I did that 2 or 3 times. I've had to cut this a bit, but roof lining in, push it into its clips, start putting the handles in to hold it. Then up here by the lights and the speakers, you've got 2 wiring connections, and I was actually struggling to find one of them, find a location of it. In the end, it turned out that it went in the side, and it was very awkward to find. I just couldn't see it, but we're in with the roof lining, and we could put all the pillar covers back in. I like to speed that time lapse up so much because it was painful for even me to watch, because it has been so long and there were so many bits and pieces to this roof lining. It was a nightmare to get back together. That was a real pain. And probably the hardest bit was, you will all laugh, was actually this light system up here in the roof lining, because underneath here there was a plug for this, but for the speakers in here, so you got speakers there, maybe microphones there. I may have got that round the wrong way, but ultimately there was another wire up there that needed plugging in, and trying to find it was a nightmare, but we got there in the end. It's plugged in. All of the sun visors all fitted back on, plugged in, handles, and you can see they all went back very, very nice. There is quite a lot of marks on this roof lining, but they are all going to clean up. And I think overall, I'm being very careful there because I've caught my leg on that 3 or 4 times. The inside of this car is completely finished. Chris is just waiting on a pinch bolt for the other side, and that wheel can go back on, but he's going to start the process. Of course, we've had both side skirts all completely repainted. We've had the trims all completely repainted, and all of the arches, they've all been repaired and painted as well. So all of it's got, it's just a case of piecing this one back together. You can see the mirrors on, the trim's all back on there. The door panels, I've fitted all of those back on, giving the battery a good charge. We are gonna have to just continue on, but we are so close with this one. Let's get the rest of these bits back on this car. Well, we actually got cracking and we've done it. And to be honest, I thought I'd spare you all today standing outside. I'm gonna sit in here with the aircon on while they give this car a quick clean. And I did plug it in, do a code scan, and you can see the only light that has stayed on is tyre pressure low. Stop carefully. Now we know that the tyre pressure isn't low, but this car did have a wheel knocked off it, and I've got that wheel in the boot with the TPMS sensor in it. So we're going to head to A2, of course get the tracking and the balancing done, and have that TPMS sensor put in. But believe it or not, and really believe it or not, that's how it drives. The steering wheel really is that straight when you're driving it, and there's no pulling to the left or the right. And don't forget, the front wheel was completely missing off this car. Let's get it cleaned and then head to A2 tyres. So of course, if you want to check out your own car, your family member's car, anybody's car, if you're buying it, selling it, whatever you're doing with it, you can always run a check using Car Vertical by typing your reg number or your VIN number into the box above. So on this particular BMW or odometer, of course, that all looks good. Financial and legal all looks good. And then damage needs attention. Now, rather than scrolling all the way through, because you can and go through this whole Car Vertical check, which is absolutely fantastic, the information it holds there. But what you can do if you are in a rush is click straight on the need attention part, and it comes up there. This vehicle was damaged, the vehicle was marked as an insurance write-off, and scrolling a little bit further down, it gives you the date that it was written off, so December 2023, and then the category, so S, repairable, structural damage. Also on here you got your market values, your emissions, odometer, financial and legal, and of course I find very, very handy is your timeline. Now on this one there is only 3 records found, and that is the manufacturer's date, the registration date, and the damage detected. It will soon have another one on there, and that will be an ownership change where I've applied to become. I want to thank Car Vertical once again for the continued support on the channel. To benefit from a lovely little discount off your check, click on the code up on screen now and use it in any browser, or hit the link in the description where it will automatically apply your discount. So happy with how this car's turned out. Yeah, it looks like a nice car. But it's been such a long time. I mean, it was getting the bits together. No second-hand parts were available for it. Well, there was, but it was a struggle. It was a struggle to get them, and it was a case of pick them up bit by bit. So even though it's had a bit of a wash there, you can see it has got watermarks all down it now, unfortunately. But yeah, it really does. That's quite good, isn't it? I didn't actually press that button. It's just because I got near it. Proximity, yeah. It does need, like, obviously, loads of little bits need polishing, but jump in, mate. It's real futuristic. Did you hear the dashboard? Yeah, then? I did, yeah. Yeah. Hit that brake and... And the only light you've got there is upcoming service. And we're on review on reserve fuel. Reserve fuel, yeah. But all come up very, very nice, didn't it? Like I say, a lot of these little pillars and stuff, they all need touching up, but really happy with it. Yeah. You've done a cracking job on that roof, mate, and that quarter panel. Yeah, come out all right, isn't it? It has been a while, but you have just managed to put the numbers together, and it is that time, isn't it? Yes. So, let's get in the office, crunch the numbers on it, and let everyone know how much we're into it for. But we actually we spent a lot of money in one day. We bought this and the Audi A1, but we backed the Audi A1 and got a full refund from Copart, didn't we?
Q2.
Q2, it was a Q2, you're right.
Yeah, Q2, yes.
Full up with water.
Yeah, we wouldn't have wanted that one.
No.
Right,
All right, mate. Let's get in the office.
Yep.
I wish I had a picture of what that looked like before, but we haven't got one now, have we?
Possibly.
We'll try and find one to include. If we've got one, we'll include it.
Yeah.
All sorted?
Yep. Good, mate.
Right, another little... We've had to do it a little bit different because, well, we ain't got the time for number one. Because, thank you everyone, actually, for your comment. Me and Chris are going to spend the next 3 to 5 hours, they said, didn't they, on the Range Rover, to find it?
Well, that's what they're quoting, isn't it?
3 to 5 hours to find a ghost immobiliser. Well done to everybody that reached out in that video. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what it's got on it. And now we got to try and find it. So Chris has just, rather than going through every single receipt, he's just compressed it all into one. So
for the parts.
For the parts and stuff, yeah. You ready then, mate?
Yes, mate.
Go for your life.
So we've got a purchase price of £7,700. Copart fees on that was £778.80p. Quite a lot of fees, isn't it? But there you go. Here's what it is. Transport we've allowed £100 from. You probably want to mention this bit. Airbags, seat belts, dash repair, etc.
Huge thank you to Airbag Service. You would see we've been using them now for quite some time.
Yeah.
They are absolutely spot on. You cannot fault them. And that is the original dashboard out of that car that went all the way off to Lithuania.
It did.
Because you couldn't get it, it's too new. They've repaired it, repacked it, and you would never tell. And everything that come out of that car, all the original stuff has all gone back into it. And they actually sponsored this build, so we haven't got a price for that. It was free of charge.
Yeah.
So huge thank you to them. And if you've got any airbags, and they actually come out and install, they would have come and fitted those for us, wouldn't they?
Would have done, yeah.
All part of their service. So there's a link for those guys in the description down below. And of course, if you mention us, you get a nice little discount.
Yeah, well done. Right, so as you've already previously mentioned, I've done a total parts basically, and that includes the doors, the wings, suspension, wheel, windscreen, under trays, splashes, engine mount, trims, key.
The whole lot.
Yeah, I haven't done a definitive list there because there's a lot of stuff, isn't there?
Yeah.
But that comes to £3,755.21p.
I think we got lucky there with the parts, really, at that price.
Yeah.
Because that could have been a lot worse, couldn't it?
It could have been, yeah. It could have been. There may be one or two things there that I've missed, but I'm pretty sure we got most of it. 2 tyres, £300. Then I've got materials. That's for what I used: filler, primer, production paper, masking, etc.
Yeah.
I've allowed £150 for that.
Uh-huh.
Then we've got paint shop, £1,800.
Full repaint.
Virtually, yeah, that's right. Then we've got 4-wheel alignment, £55, but that did include, they removed that TPMS, didn't they, and refitted that as well for us.
They did indeed, yeah.
And then we got a valet, £30. And that gives us a grand total of £14,669 and a penny. So.
And we did something a little bit different today, didn't we? Where we normally go through eBay and look for them, or Auto Trader.
Yes.
There's actually not many available, and I can't show you the screenshot because I took it on that phone, but I'll show Chris, and I'll put it into a car buying website. I'm not going to say the name of it, but I actually did 2, and they were both exactly the same. And was it between
26.9 and 29.7?
So around like 26 to 30k for that car. And it's done 14,000 miles. It is due a service. The total it owes us there is going to be a little bit more to that because we've actually booked it in at BMW for its first service. Once that is serviced, it's quite a long run down there for me to drive it down there and drive it back. The snagging will be over because that car wasn't smashed up, was it?
No.
It was
panel damage.
It had been on its side and it was panel damage. So Once that's serviced, we are going to ask £20,000 for that car. It will be not the cheapest one in the country. It will be the cheapest one of them in the world, I think, at that money.
Yeah. And that will still give us a pre-tax profit of around about the 5,000 mark, time we've allowed for the service.
So a big investment, but still a
Good
big
return.
profit.
Oh, yeah, good return.
But a lot of work went into it.
Yeah.
Definitely, didn't it?
But
On that bombshell, we have got an immobiliser to find. It's not an immobiliser, what's it called?
well, it is, isn't it? It's a ghost.
We got a ghost to find on that Range Rover. So, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We got lots of fantastic upcoming content. Don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, offer us your car. We always pay a finder's fee if one of your friends or family is selling a car. And don't forget, if you ever you're in a position where your car's been involved in an accident, you will always be the first one that can buy that back from the insurance company, and we would give you a premium on top of what you pay for it. So just bear that in mind. If you want to reach out with any cars, it's sales, SIUK, @gmail.com. Follow us both on Instagram, Salvage Rebuilds, Salvage Rebuilds Chris, and we'll see you very, very soon in the next one.